We have a $50 donation from Andy. First time donating to AGDQ, had an aunt die of cancer, and have another suffering from it right now, and a grandpa who survived it. Thank you for supporting the cause towards ending cancer. You guys rock. I have a $15 donation from Clef Spear. Hey, I think this AGDQ is amazing. This is my first time watching live, and I hope to watch more as I work the night shift at my hotel. To Zom, keep being awesome. And to the announcer, I heard from another donation that you were a drill sergeant, and I thought it would be hilarious if you read a donation in your drill sergeant voice. Don't worry if you can't. Thanks for being a fun announcer. Put towards the player's friend's choice. Haha, let's finally beat cancer. Okay, they want me to read it as a drill sergeant. Okay, hang on. I gotta get the mic further away from my mouth. Ming Lee donates $5. I'm watching AGDQ this year for the first time. This is an amazing opportunity to give money to prevent cancer. This is a really great cause for that. Unfortunately, I can relate to. I lost 2 sisters, 1 grandfather, and 2 mothers to cancer. I hope this marathon continues for years to come. I think that was the wrong comment to read like that, but...
No, that was the perfect comment. That was amazing. Every donation like that.
I don't want to blow out any speakers. So we are still setting up for the Amnesia Machine for Pigs run. After that, we're going to have Outlast, Inc., Prince of Persia, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The Tony Hawk's Underground 2 has a current bid war going on as for what skater they're going to play as. And by winning over $1,000, it's looking like it's going to be Shrek. Such spooky music.
Say, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we should be good. Am I good? It's a little loud. Yeah, that's fine.
Scoot closer.
So,
Scoot closer.
say again? Okay, timing starts later, but yeah, sure.
It's a hot load.
Say again?
It's a hot load time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Is this the whole speed run?
Yeah, no, it's pretty similar.
I think your game crashed.
Dude, don't joke. So, this is Amnesia, Machine for Pigs. It's probably one of the more broken and inconsistent games I've played. And I think most people who play this game would probably agree. Even playing through casually, you can get game crashes and clips through walls, clips under the ground, soft locks. It has it all. So hopefully this game goes according to plan. So far in practice, everything has gone perfectly, so that's a good sign that everything will go completely wrong.
There's only a few hard tricks really in the game that we need to be worried about.
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 that we really do need to be worried about. Everything else should go pretty straightforward. So timing is gonna start relatively soon. This cutscene's gonna fade out and you'll see "Daddy Daddy" as the text on the screen, and that's when you start time. We start time there because that's technically when we gain control of our character. So, time. Alright, so now we start the game. We wake up in our bed, and we really can't do anything besides lean back and forth, so that's usually what I end up doing.
You're really hamming it up in here.
Yeah, dude, really hamming it up. Good one.
Yeah, take it to my piggy bank.
Take it to your piggy bank.
And stash it away for later.
Get any more?
That's all.
All for now, or all for the run?
Surprise.
Okay. So, we're gonna fall out of bed, and we're gonna wake up, and our children are gonna be running around the house, and we have to find them. Children.
Children in a horror game or movie never end well.
Yeah. So we wake up on the floor, and we're pretty much just gonna like crawl forward until we're able to bring ourselves to our feet.
It's like every day at AGDQ.
Yep, pretty much. So we're gonna open the store and go look for our kids.
Daddy, find us.
So at the beginning of the game, you really don't even have sprint. You can only walk for a little bit, but once we turn this corner, we'll get sprint again. And we're gonna jump up these stairs, and
This way.
instead of finding our kids, we're just gonna run through this wall. And that's gonna be map 1. So most of the maps in this game are gonna go pretty similar to that one. I think there's only one map in this game that we do as intended. Everything else is pretty broken. We clip out of almost every wall or ceiling in the game. You'll also notice throughout the game I'll be jumping a lot, and that's because jumping is actually faster than walking normally. So I'm gonna be jumping at all times.
Can you bunny hop or anything?
About that.
Okay. Nice. As somebody who's never seen this game before, how hard are the clips to do?
Some of them are like so straightforward that anyone watching this run could do it on their first try, just off the knowledge of the clip alone, just like where to look. But as far as some of the later game clips and object boosts, which I'll get into in a second, they're really precise, like extremely precise, and they can make the game really inconsistent. So, talking about object boosts, there's an object boost coming up, and pretty much what an object boost is the objects in this game, such as this wood right here, have some weird collision with them. Most objects in this game have weird collision with them. And you can pretty much spam jump plus crouch on like railings or pretty much anything that you can stand up against, and you can get some height just by jumping off of it. I don't know exactly how it works, but we use it multiple times in the run to get a higher boost up to get over, say, a trigger or a invisible wall.
And there's a lot of levels where you clip out, but you're pretty down low.
Yeah.
So you have to boost up out
So
of those walls.
I don't know if the donation incentive for pig flying got met. I think it did, so I'm gonna go
it
for
did.
it. So we haven't done pig flying in runs seriously in a while. It's a really outdated strat, but it's kind of a shame because it's one of the best strats that have been found. So we come over and we grab this pig. We're just gonna, walk with it, throw it up in the air a little bit.
It's faster to throw the pig because when you're carrying it, it slows down your movement speed.
All right, so we're gonna bring him outside, put him down on the ground. I'm gonna crouch and grab his snout. Uncrouch. And we're pig flying.
Literal piggyback ride.
So we're gonna do that to get up on this invisible barrier. And we're gonna stay up here for a while because there's actually a slowdown trigger in the graveyard that we're gonna skip right now by jumping on this tree.
Is this the part where I'm supposed to ask about fall damage?
Oh, yeah, good talk. All right, so fall damage in this game works pretty weird. So the maximum amount of life you have in this game is 52. I don't know why. I literally don't get it. But you have 52 total health, and the only way you can drop below 52, well, apparently, according to Blood Thunder, you can die from fall damage. I've never seen it happen.
It's very rare circumstances.
But pretty much you're not supposed to be able to die from fall damage. Fall damage will put you down to 1 health. The only real way you can die is by voiding out when you fall under the map, which could happen right now. And
Very scary clip. We're good.
all right, we're good. And the other way is by an enemy attacking you. And we skip almost every enemy in this game. I might encounter one later, but we're gonna hope not. I thought I missed that door dive there, which would have been pretty bad because I'd have to start the entire map over. So pretty much with door dives, they're pretty straightforward. You just jump off and you interact with the door. You can either click it, or if you have interact bound to a scroll wheel like I do, you can just scroll on it.
I think that's cheating.
Yeah, no, it pretty much is cheating. But later on in the game, when we get to sewers, which is thought of by the community to be one of the run killers, we want to really take our time with that door dive, not only because it's one of the hardest door dives in the game, but it also is one of the biggest time losses if we miss it. So I'll probably end up safety saving when I get there.
Is it okay to read a quick donation?
Yeah, go for it.
Great. Got a $25 donation from Pork Soda. So glad to see Amnesia at AGDQ. I really needed a good pig me up this morning.
Oh my god. Alright. So we can avoid taking damage there. We didn't. It's not really that unfortunate because of the fact that when we load into the next map, we're stuck in an elevator for about 15 seconds. So we'll gain some of that health back. We want to avoid in the future taking damage when you fall down that elevator shaft. You can actually just fall right past it and fall into the load zone without hitting it.
Yeah, he's not moving his camera here because it kind of messes up his placement in the next level. So we're just going to look at this.
Yeah, we found that if you look around in this elevator, when you load in, when you fade up from black, coming up right here, sometimes your camera orientation is completely random. You'll be turned around or turned to the left, and it's not optimal. So here we're just gonna ignore that phone. We're gonna run up here, open the cabinet, crouch jump on top, and spam up. So this is where the jump plus crouch. All right, I thought I missed that for a second. That's kind of a tricky jump at times. If you jump too early, you'll miss the load zone, which isn't fun. But that's an instance where jump plus crouch scroll binds are really useful. So now we're loading into sewers, and this is the start of like what a lot of people consider to be the 3 hardest maps in this game. that sewers, bilge, and reactor in that order. It used to be the biggest run killer like chunk of the game, just because all these happen to have like the 3 most precise and hardest tricks. So we're gonna hope everything goes according to plan. Again, in my practice, everything has been going amazing, so it probably won't go well. All right, so we're gonna object boost up this pillar. I got there pretty fast. All right, and we're up. So that was pretty good, but that's not the hard part of this level. So, as I mentioned earlier, this game has really weird collision with almost everything. And multiple times when jumping and running in this area, you can get geometry boosted off the side of the map. So we're gonna take it fairly slow here and hope that doesn't happen.
It could have happened on that last jump right there.
Yeah, it's a really sketchy jump.
Another thing with fall damage is it kind of just makes it really hard to see.
Yeah,
especially when
so
you're out of bounds.
I can barely see as much as you guys at home probably can. So we're gonna safety save here, just because this game doesn't like me.
Yeah, he was just talking about geometry boosting, and that can happen a lot on this next fall. It'll just throw you into the void. And if you don't safety save, you have to go back to the start of sewers.
And again, this is the door dive coming up that definitely would want to take my time on. Alright, so we're just gonna walk off. And we got geometry boosted, so it's a really good thing that I safety saved there. And that's something that we really have no control over. Sometimes your forward momentum is just turned into horizontal, and it's...
Yeah, we might see in the reactor that you can actually use geometry boosting to your advantage, but for the most part it's not helpful in these situations.
Alright, so now we're gonna try to... Alright, I got it. That is much harder than it looks. That door can screw you over sometimes. There's a weird angle that you can... It looks like you can click the door, and it looks like it's right in front of you, but you will not have like the prompt to click it on your screen. So you kind of have to come at a really weird angle. And with the screen being completely black, or I guess red from damage, it can be really hard to set that up. So now we're just going to object boost up onto this pipe and go out of bounds real quick.
And you're still supposed to be finding your kids, but
Yeah, but
kind of just ignore them.
For your kids, pigs.
spoiler, dude.
Oh, my bad.
Alright, so coming up is one of the most inconsistent tricks in this game. You could practice this weeks on end and then one day just not get it. So this is bilge boost, and it's pretty much a giant object boost over an invisible wall. So we're gonna try to do that real quick. Alright, we got a third try. That's not too bad. Okay. Alright, we're good. We're good. We're good. Alright, I tried to avoid taking damage there. You can jump off a certain way and avoid taking all fall damage, but it's kind of hard. No one really, everyone goes for it, but if you don't get it, it's not a huge deal. Getting it really does help set up for this boost in Reactor, which used to be one of the hardest tricks in the game, in my opinion. Alright, never mind.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna try to jump into the barrier here and get a forward moment. Ah, there we go. So you can get boosted forward, and it's pretty good. So now is a great time for donations if you have any.
We do. We have a $151 donation
Oh, wow.
from David Galloway. I'm so happy to see these GDQ events every year. The combination of video games and goodwill is truly amazing. Keep up the good work, team. Here's $151 to naming the Nidoran in Pokemon Yellow PPMD. P.S. Orange Pledge is a low-tier streamer / clean product.
Oh my god, dude.
Lemon Pledge, Master Race. And then we also have a $250 donation from Red. Hey, AGDQ, a second-time donator. The original Amnesia was the first game I ever tried to speedrun back in the early days of Twitch, and very glad to see Machine for Pigs on the Spooky Games block. For my raccoon brethren, save the animals and kill cancer.
Any more donations? Because we have a fairly long cutscene right now.
No, but I do want to remind everyone of some upcoming incentives. So let Tails tag along for the Sonic Advance Sonic Any Percent, as well as bonus game Super Mario Bros. 3 is coming up. So be sure to get those donations in.
So Yeti,
Hey,
how do you feel about a machine for piggyback rides?
I feel pretty good about it.
You want to do one?
Let's do it. Let's get this blanket out of the way first, but I'm down.
Spin the world wheel and set the future upon the path to redemption. Where are my children? You promised me my children. My time is come. More pig. More pig.
World record.
So can you describe what's going on in the plot?
I'd try, but it might be.
Especially this part.
Yeah, no. Let's just leave the story out of it. Anyone interested in like actually learning about the game should either like go on a wiki and find out, or maybe buy it yourself. But the game is really, really confusing. So now we're loading into Engine Room. And Engine Room was weird in the sense that it's a really easy map, but it's also a map that you're not expected to die in. So you'd think it's not really a run killer, right? It's an easy map, you don't die often. But sometimes you can get geometry boosted outside of the map, and because of the fact that you're not supposed to die on this map, it puts you back at the start, but the doors are locked, so you soft lock the game. And this level is fairly long, so if that happens, yeah, we're gonna hope it doesn't happen. So what I'm doing, and you might have noticed me do it earlier, I am ladder boosting, and pretty much I am jumping, grabbing the ladder, and doing it over and over. Alright, so that's not good. Alright, we saved it. Alright, much better. So coming up, we are going to end up clipping back in bounds, and there's a gate that we try to clip through to get to the elevator. And for the most part, the gate kind of goes according to plan. You run into the corner of it like so, and it puts you through. So that time it helped us. It was friendly. But sometimes the gate will push you through the other side of it for some reason. I don't know why. And I never knew about this for the longest of times. I ran this game for over years, and I had hundreds of hours in the game. And then Nosferatu, shoutouts to Nosferatu, he's the current world record holder for this game. He's absolutely insane at Amnesia games. So shoutouts to him. He's done so much work on this game. But he told me one day that that gate can clip you out and then you pretty much soft lock. You can't finish your run. And I was like, wow, I've never even heard of that happening before. And then sure enough, within like maybe an hour, 2 hours of him telling me that, I had a run on world record pace. And as I get there, it just pushes me out the side of the map. And I hadn't experienced that in the hundreds of hours I've played beforehand. And since he's told me that, it happens pretty frequently, so I'm glad it didn't happen there.
So this is the one map that you don't go out of bounds in.
Yeah. There are out of bounds for this map, but we don't have any use for them. It's just faster to run through this map like you normally would. So this is the only map in the game that I guess we do as intended. Technically, we do Temple, the last map, as intended, but that's just a straight line. There's not much you can do in it. There's a small boost you can get, but besides that, it's done completely intended. So we pretty much just run forward. We're just running through the city right now, running through the streets.
So the only real time you're going to encounter a monster in the run is right here. It's the scripted event.
Yeah, it spawns in behind you, and currently it's chasing me. It can kill you. We really want to hope it doesn't, but yeah, it's chasing me right now, and we pretty much have to get to that gate right there.
It's a sick 360.
Yeah, dude, I practiced it. Okay, so one thing that doesn't happen often, and I don't want to jinx it, but
Don't
these
say it.
slowdown explosions that happen, that are like happening in this map, if one happens as we hit the load zone, like that, if that happens as we fade into black, it will permanently slow me for the next map, and I cannot finish it.
The same can happen if you're jumping in the elevators.
Yeah, if you land like crouched in the elevator, it will sometimes think that you're crouched loading into the next map even though you're standing up, and you'll be permanently slowed, which in this map means that we can't even complete it. So it's a good thing that didn't happen. So this is Pigline, and Pigline is pretty interesting in the fact that we've had like a ton of route changes throughout the course of this game's life. This current one that we're using is the fastest by far, but it's also one of my least favorites just because of how inconsistent it can be at times. We pretty much have to spam jump plus crouch at a perfect time. All right, we got it there. To get up the wall. That's much harder than it looks. All right, we're good. So pretty much what we do there is we boost up the wall, get up on top, and jump over the barrier, and then we pretty much just fall down to the bottom of this level, which normally you have to go through this whole like maze and find your kids, and then
You
They
end up in a pool of blood.
yeah, they teleport you, and then it's really long. So the fact that we found this was really huge.
If you play the game normally, there's two bodies that end up in the pool of blood, but you skip that trigger. So.
Yeah, they're only there if you get teleported there. So we're loading into Tesla 1 now, which is one of the last 3 maps of the game. Tesla 1 usually doesn't have anything that can really go wrong in it. I tend to have a problem where sometimes the game will push me through the floor, and as far as I'm aware, no other runner of this game has ever experienced that. I know for a fact Nosferatu, when I talked to him about it, had never even heard of that happening before. I don't know why it happens and why it only happens to me, but it does. So we're gonna really cross our fingers that that doesn't happen, because so far this run is going pretty according to plan. If we have any donations, now would be a decent time.
Sounds good. We have a $30 donation from Fat Panda Power. This donation comes from a gaming house just trying to help out a good cause. Love what you do, and happy to watch every time. From Fat Panda Power, Bleached Jam, Zamasu, Despicare, and Mambo. Keep up the good work.
Of all the blood we have spilled together, the first drops fell from your hands.
Enough time for another one?
Yeah.
Shoutouts to my hometown boy, Scoot. This is an anonymous $10 donation. Stayed up way past my bedtime to see him run an AGDQ. Never actually seen him run this game all the way through, despite him always talking about it. So I'm hyped to see it. Also, shoutouts to the D Wolf on the couch.
Oh my god.
Save the animals, especially the manatees.
All right, that's my boy Nolan. Shoutouts to Nolan. How you doing, man? Thanks for staying up and watching. So now we're going to do probably the second sketchiest door dive in the game. And yeah, so I'm gonna focus for a second. All right.
Got it.
So now we're loading into Tesla 2, and Tesla 2 is without a doubt the biggest run killer in the game for several reasons. So the strat is extremely precise. It's an object boost off a pipe on the side of the map that if we miss it, we fall for a while before we void out. So I'm going to safety save for sure. This trick can go wrong 10s, 20s of times in a row before you get it, and sometimes it will just go your way.
And it's the last trick you really have to do in the game, too.
Yeah, it's the last major trick. So we're going to safety save and hope that we can get it. Again, in practice, it's been A-okay. So let's see. So I'm going to line up with the middle of this pipe, take 2 steps back. I have a visual cue that I kind of use. All right, wow, we got it first try. That's insane. So we're gonna push through this wall, climb up. All right, now the run isn't over yet. So we have to. All right, we should have avoided taking damage there, but we're still alive, so I can't complain too much.
You can just drop down and miss the ladder completely.
Yeah, which that happened in practice a whole bunch. So I'm glad that went according to plan. Alright, so now that we did all the objectives, we drop down this ladder, open this door, and just run into the light. So we're loading into the last map of the game now, which is Temple. And as I said earlier, Temple is pretty straightforward. It's just a straight line. You just run forever.
Straightforward.
Yeah, it's literally straightforward. And there is one time saver that we can do on this map. So we drop onto a conveyor belt, and we still don't know exactly why it happens, but for some reason or another, you can drop off at a certain angle, hold back for a split second, and you can get a boost off the backside of the conveyor belt, and it will push you forward. The boost you get is completely random. Sometimes it will boost you all the way down. Sometimes it will boost you a little bit. So we're going to try to do that right now. There is a backup strat to save some time, which I will explain, but we're going to try to get a boost real quick. Alright, so I got literally no boost. That was awful. That was the example of like the worst possible tempo you could have gotten. So what I'm doing now is I am taking one step back, and then walking forward. And the reason I'm doing this is because this conveyor belt pretty much has a script on it where it tries to keep you at one consistent speed. So if I start walking backwards, the game will try to boost my speed so I stay at one consistent speed. And you can use that to your advantage by taking one step back to get the boost and then walking forward with it and then just repeating. So now we're on the final steps of the game, and at this point the run is pretty much over. There's not much more that goes into it. We walk forward for the rest of the run. There's no more tricks or anything, so if there are any more donations, now would be the time.
We have a $20 donation from G Squared, from George and Georgia. Such a great thing you guys and girls are doing here. Who knew breaking games would lead to such a worthy cause? I watch every year, and this year is Georgia's first time watching. Safe to say it's been amazing as ever. The runners have been excellent. Let's kill cancer.
So at this point in the run, it's pretty much at that point where if you were doing actual attempts, you know at this point whether you've PB'd or world record. The game can crash here. I've had it happen once when I was on a PB. I don't know exactly why it happens, but it's a very rare occasion. So I'm pretty sure we're already past the point where it would normally crash, so this run is pretty much over.
We're still looking for the kids, by the way.
Yeah, we're still looking for the kids. They're hiding somewhere. We'll find them eventually.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
No. For your children.
All right, so when I click this button, it's going to be time. So time's coming up. Time. So that was Amnesia, a machine for pigs. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Did we find our kids?
That's
53, but-
debatable.
If you looked hard enough, you would see them.
Yeah.
If you want to find out, go play the game yourself.
All right, everyone. That was Amnesia, a machine for pigs. Coming up soon is Outlast, followed by Inc. As a reminder, AGDQ 2016's live stream is powered by Twitch, and all subscription revenue from AGDQ 2016 will be given directly to the Prevent Cancer Foundation.